Morning.
Morning. I'd first like to say our thoughts and prayers are out with the University of Utah and Aaron Lowe's family about the tragedy that happened over the weekend. And, puts things in perspective for everybody. But it's just, I know they lost a player last off season. It was actually really close with Aaron. Aaron was actually representing him, so it's a tough thing for them. So our thoughts and prayers are with those guys.
Do you have a conversation with your team about that earlier?
We haven't had a chance to know. We're going to do that later on tonight.
Did you talk to Coach Whittingham about it at all? Or
I just texted Kyle.
Dorian, what's the latest on him?
He'll be out there today.
Did he have any tests to make sure he's structurally okay?
He gets examined by our medical staff all the time.
Okay, and so he's cleared to practice full go
He's
today?
cleared for today to go out on the field. We'll see what he can do.
How about Sam Marazzo? How's he looking?
Sam is unavailable.
He's unavailable.
Yep.
What is the decision making? What do you do to decide who fills in for someone like that? Because we've seen John Gaines and Duke Clemens come in.
We'll rotate everybody in there and see who's available at the end of the week.
Quentin Lake was out pregame warming up in uniform, but didn't see the field. Is he cleared? Is he practicing today?
We'll see what he can do today.
But he'll be out there.
He'll
in
be
some
out there
capacity.
today. Yep.
There was a moment for the game on TV where Garbers is facing your way and you're kind of telling him to relax a little bit. Was he nervous at all, or you don't remember that? Okay, yeah, you were like seeing kind of like telling him to relax.
I don't think you can look at a quick soundbite and see what a conversation was going on.
Okay, no, I mean I wasn't looking for what the conversation was, but for him maybe going in a
just
spot
asked me
real
if
quick.
I was telling him to relax, so that was about the
Okay,
conversation.
all right, okay.
So, and I don't recall what it was, so it could have been, he could have been making a check about what the secondary was doing. And so,
That's
you know,
fair.
the one thing about Garbs that I love, and like all of our backup quarterbacks, they're into every play. So we use them a lot on the sideline. So it'll be a lot of those things with my quick reference of, hey, what was the coverage there? And they'll be able to give you, right now it was cover one, coach, it was cover two, corner carried. Those guys, him and Chase have been fantastic in terms of being able to give us information from the sideline. We rely on those guys a lot, so it could have just been a conversation about what the coverage was.
There was an unsportsmanlike conduct penalty at the end of the game.
Yeah, that was on me.
What was that for? What happened?
They didn't like what I said to them,
What did you say to them?
that I didn't like their call.
What was the call?
It was a non-call.
On a hold or
That's
something?
all I can say about the officials. There was a non-call that I disagreed with, so I got a penalty.
Did you express yourself colorfully or how?
No.
Okay. Is that the first one you've ever gotten in your career?
Yep.
How do you feel about that?
I feel it was the appropriate time because we were taking a knee, so it didn't affect the outcome of what was going to happen. So I would not have done it if it would have affected the outcome of what was going to happen. So we just got moved back 15 yards, and we'll take a knee from 15 yards back. So when we can do it and when we can't do it.
When you went back and watched the film again and saw how Dorian gutted out, especially the last few plays, how impressive was that?
I think it's always been impressive, and he's been that type of player since the jump. I remember the first start of his career at Oklahoma and how tough he was taking on the Oklahoma team. So not of any surprise to me. One of Dorian's best qualities is his toughness, and I think that showed through on Saturday.
Now that you've watched the game film, did anything catch you by surprise at all, or did it lay out pretty much the way you saw the game live Saturday?
No, I mean, I think it was two tough football teams that were really competing. We knew even when we jumped out to an early lead that, the one thing I know about Stanford, it's a resilient bunch, it's a tough bunch. It's as well a coached team as we'll ever face. They're in every game they play. They give themselves an opportunity. I think that team has tremendous poise. So we knew, and we talked about it all week long to our players, we're going to get their best shot, and we got to be able to trade punches. So when it got tied up at 21, I don't think anybody's surprised. But I thought our guys showed great resiliency and kind of being able to handle that and weather that. And then for our defense to play that team and hold them to 55 snaps, they had 3 spikes, so 55 snaps and 11 first downs was a real credit to how good our guys played. We need to eliminate the X plays. I think that was the factor in what helped them offensively. But I thought it was a really good effort by our defense.
Aside from the 2 quick passing touchdowns by Stanford, the pass defense looked pretty solid.
They did a nice job. There's some corrections we need to make there, but I think we generated and forced the pocket better than we did the week before. I thought we were closer in our coverage than we were in the week before. So again, everything we talk about, there's 3 phases. There's preparation, which occurs during the week. There's competition, which we have on Saturdays, and then there's the learning phase. So we're going through that today. It's making proper corrections from what transpired on Saturday, and then we move on to Arizona State.
Carl Jones looks pretty disruptive over the weekend. And I saw
Did.
when you were leaving through the tunnel, you were with him. Seemed
Yeah.
pretty excited. What did you say to him?
I just thought Carl played a great game. I think he's starting to come into his own. He got recruited here as a safety. He's played inside linebacker. I think he's finally settled into a Bruin spot on defense and is really starting to feel comfortable out there. You can see him playing with confidence. He's a tough physical kid. He's got a great motor. I was just really happy for all the work that Carl's put in. He's one of our hardest working guys, and to see it show up on the field like it did on Saturday was what Carl is all about. I was just excited for the kid.
When you look at the schedule, a W is a W. So how happy are you with the team's progression throughout the season?
Yeah, I mean, that's what this is all about. You get a test every week, and it's not about the cumulative part of it. It's about staying in the moment and staying in the process. I think if you look at the sports psychology studies, if you look too forward into the future, you're too anxious, and you can reduce 80% of your anxiety if you just live in the process, and that's what we try to do. So we had a really good week last week, Monday through Friday, and then it paid off for us on Saturday, and then we'll just start the same process over again this week. So we're trying to climb a mountain each week. So we're right at the bottom of the mountain again right now. So we'll start right now, getting ready for our preparation for Arizona State.
I don't know if you saw the video of Sam Marazzo telling us about John Gaines and his dad and his situation. He basically was saying that he lost both his kidneys. He beat kidney cancer. Now, I guess he'll eventually need a transplant. But for him to help out a teammate and publicize that and make everybody aware of what's going on, what does that say about Sam?
Yeah, Sam's awesome. He's been a great leader from the beginning since he got here. He's worked his way through everything. Everybody on this football team has a tremendous amount of respect for Sam and how he carries himself on a daily basis. And it doesn't surprise me. We're all aware of the story. But the fact that Sam would spend time to talk about John, it just tells you how much he loves John and how much he cares about John and his family. And, that's Sam. That's what makes Sam such a special guy.
And it sounds like the programs, I talked to John's dad last night, the program helped fly John out after his surgery and supported the family. Can you talk about that?
That's what the process is for us, is that we are a family. And when someone is in our family or our extended family like John's dad that's going through something, that it's important for John to be there. So for NCAA rules, there's a fund that you can help student athletes with that. And we applied for that and got a chance to get John home to be with his family and to spend time with them. And they were out for, I think it may have been the LSU game, got a chance to see them after the game. But that's kind of what it's all about.
Yeah, Arizona State game this weekend. The last two times you played him, you kind of kept Jaden Daniels in check. He's a really dynamic quarterback. How do you kind of go about doing that again? Do you have to start from scratch? We got to start from scratch. This will be our second time playing against this scheme. He was more of a spread offense guy in the first year that we played him, and then last year they brought in Zach Hill from Boise State, so they've changed to a little bit more of a multiple tight end set. We played them down there during COVID. Obviously it was a different time for everybody. All of last year was, so how that game played out. We'll look at the film from last year's game, but we still have 4 games to go off of this year, so I'm confident our coaching staff will put a pretty good plan together on how to defend him. But that's obviously the key. Jaden is the key to that offense, and we need to contain him because he's explosive in the run game. And really, a lot of it's not design run. It's just when things are covered, he can take off and go, and he can eat up some chunks of yards because he's a really productive runner, and he's obviously a very accurate passer. So trying to keep Jaden in check will be a real big, tall task for us this week.
All right, thanks, Coach.
Thank you. Thanks, guys.
Thanks, Coach.